Now we are at the point where we can export the files that we've created. You've done everything pretty much, and so what you do now is you zoom out for a start, and you need to select a different file for each chapter. So let's move this out of the way, and this is where we start using these little blue pointers, these things up here. So what I'm going to do is just move over. Oh, I can't move any further over. Okay, so I'm going to put one there. Now actually let me do that again. So you click here, and if you drag to the left, so if you click and drag to the left, then it's kind of a grey blue because it doesn't actually include anything, because this is the back, the end, the last part of the recording. This is the beginning, so that's why it says you're not making any sense here, mate. Whereas if you click and drag this to the other side, oh, it's a much stronger blue, and this all greys out properly because you've selected this bit for whatever it is you're going to do next. In this case, we're going to export. So let's just move those out of the way. Let's put this here, so I'm clicking and holding, I'm dragging with the left hand mouse button, and remember you're not doing that, which is where the cursor is, you're doing this, which is where the blue markers are. Up here in these white markers, like that one and this one, where you get the pencil indicator here, like that means you've got the blue markers, and they're reflected here, left and right. That's what you're creating. So we'll drag this all the way across to the end of the first chapter. And there it is, and I move the pencil line just up to there, and then I'm going to put the cursor here, zoom in, and I'm going to click and hold, so you can see the arrow is moving when I move the pointer left and right, and I bring the side of the finger just to the right of that piece of tape, because that way the greyed out area is just to the right of that piece of tape, so it's all included without anything excess and unnecessary. And then I do the same here. I trim this one, so the finger is just to the left, and you can see the grey is just to the left of that as well. Then I go to File, Export, Audio Mixdown, and I'm going to call this, well, you can see the names I've used before. So this is Urban Legends 01. Please, 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 please use 01 for the first chapter. I don't care if it's a preface, an introduction, chapter 1, whatever. As far as you're concerned, you've got the title, then 01, and then this is actually the preface. So that's all you need. Urban Legend 01 preface, and then we will save this somewhere. Well, for the purposes of this, we can save this in training video. You know, you can create it. Let's do that actually. Let's create a file for a folder. So the folder is Urban Legends finished book. So there we go, in your own time, thank you. And we'll put that in there, preface, so we save that, and it does all this all the way along. Marvellous. So that's your first chapter. Then we will zoom out and go to the next chapter. And this is why you do them all in order, so you know that the next chapter has to be 02. It may be the introduction, it may be something else. Anyway, we do that up to there. Cursor, zoom in, just adjust slightly so there's no excess on it. Click and drag to there. Zoom out a little bit and move back to the beginning of this particular chapter. There we go. And zoom in again. And click and drag. So I'm actually going to put it there because I haven't trimmed this off, and this is where the sound starts, so that's where I'm going to start the book. And that I happen to know is chapter 2. I'll just have a quick listen. Well, it's probably the introduction actually, so let's have a listen. Introduction. And what do you know, it's the introduction. So we then go to Export, Audio Mixdown, and it should be a WAV file. It definitely should be a WAV file, uncompressed. We want it in mono, 16-bit is fine, and 44.1 is the sample rate. I should have mentioned that before. So these two, for whatever reason, are clicked. Don't know why. These two are not. Don't really care. Don't know what they do. Don't really care. So this is now 02 introduction. And note, it has added the WAV at the end. I don't add that. it will do that for me. If you add .wav, then it'll be .wav.wav, and the computer will melt because it can't cope with it, because Bill Gates hasn't worked out complicated things like file endings. Anyway, so we hit save, and there it goes. And we just keep doing that through to the end of the book, and that's what you then burn onto a disk and send to me. And that is how to produce an audiobook.